So, a more appropriate term is probably motion sickness. I guess that's the official term. And you can really experience it anytime you're moving, like in planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, you got that joke? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you're going to, so that's good. Respect.
And Dad would be very disappointed if I didn't get that.
Oh, we should watch that again.
Yeah.
But besides those, you can also get it on amusement park rides or even in VR experiences.
Good to know. Julian and I actually just were on a walk the other night and we went past this VR place in downtown Toronto and we just popped in to chat with the people there and see what it was all about. And we're considering going there on our honeymoon as a fun experience.
One of the things.
Yeah. Good to know that motion sickness can happen though, because I might want to use one of these hacks we're going to learn about to make sure I don't get sick while we're playing.
Hopefully. I was thinking more about that. Maybe you would get motion
I could
sickness.
see it.
So have you ever been, I don't know if I've asked you, have you ever been to Disneyland?
No, I haven't.
Have you been
Do you want to go? Do you want to go?
Sure.
Maybe we'll do that for our honeymoon. Let's go to Disneyland.
Yes, let's do it. Have you been to any big amusement parks?
The Lloydminster Fair.
Ah, yes. So a roller coaster? No?
Yeah, no, I've been to West Ed.
Oh, okay.
West Edmonton Mall. If anyone listening is not familiar with West Edmonton Mall, maybe we've gained a listener from outside of Alberta. It would be very exciting. They have I believe it's the world's largest or North America's largest, one of those. Someone else fact check me. Largest 3-loop indoor roller coaster.
Okay. Yeah, and they used to be the biggest mall in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but now there's a bunch bigger. China has a bigger one. Dubai has a bigger one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And people have died on this roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know about that? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I don't want to get all dark here, but there was an accident on it and people flew off of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'll show you on YouTube later.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. You didn't know about that?
No. I only knew of the guy that jumped off the railing into the pool.
Oh.
It's probably happened
Lots of people have done that, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like a streaker in a soccer game kind of thing. So motion sickness is the nauseous feeling, obviously, you know what it's like, that is triggered by a conflict between what you see and what you feel.
Okay. That's interesting. I've never considered it in that way, as a conflict between things like that. So,
You have what's called the vestibular system.
Okay. Vestibular system.
Vestibular. Vestibular system. I might cut that out. Who knows?
Keep it in.
This system is often referred to as the balance system of your body.
Uh-huh.
It detects the motion, head position, spatial orientation.
Okay.
Where do you think it's located in your body?
In your ears.
Yes. You're lucky I gave you a little hint.
I know that because Julian told me we were going to talk about ears today.
Yes. So it has it's called, part of the system is called the vestibular labyrinth, which is broken down into semicircular canals, otolith organs, and receptors for vestibular sensations.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The receptors send information via, I practice this word many times, I can't get it. Vestibular cochlear nerve.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Sounds good. To the cerebellum, which in the brain, that's responsible for maintaining your balance.
Okay.
And then also to the vestibular nuclei.
Okay.
And then the nuclei send information to your muscles to maintain balance.
Big old system.
Ear, brain, muscles. Simple.
All working together to maintain balance.
Yes. So,
So maintaining balance has to do with the motion sickness then.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So your vestibular system, it has two different functions, I guess, that maintain the balance. The first one is using the vestibular labyrinth that I was talking about. So it has these semicircular canals that connect to the cochlea. I hope I'm saying that right. So there's 3 canals that are each angled for ways that the head can move. So nodding up and down, shaking side to side, and then tilting left to right.
Okay. Nodding up and down, shaking side to side, tilting left to right.
Yes.
Okay.
So then in these canals, there's a fluid called endolymph. And based on the movement that you make, this fluid is sent to what's called the ampulla.
This makes me feel very uncomfortable right now thinking, I don't know if anyone else out there ever gets this, but I just hate thinking about the parts inside my body. Like, it just really freaks me out. So now, even though obviously I know there's a lot of fluids and random things in my head, but now that I'm like focused on the fact that there's this fluid that's like moving every time I move my head in these different directions, I feel very uncomfortable.
Especially because it's like right behind your ear, like in your ear, right?
Yeah. I don't love this.
It's just like playing with water in a container.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm visualizing right now. Or like using one of those like levels, trying to find balance when you're going to hang something on the wall.
So from in the ampulla, they have these little hairs that when the fluid hits them, it kind of pushes them, and those, by the hairs moving, they send a signal to it releases neurotransmitters that are sent to the brain.
Okay.
So they all kind of, the 3 canals work together to tell your brain, well, like angle your head is that kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's very high tech.
So the second way that the vestibular system is involved in balance is using the otolith organs. So the otolith organs are involved in the forward and backward movements and reactions to gravitational forces. So basically, acceleration in the horizontal plane and acceleration in the vertical plane.
Does this have anything to do with vehicular acceleration? Because if so, that explains my sickness, because Julian likes to accelerate quickly and randomly. You're messing up my inner balance in my ears.
Yes, very off balance. Well, you're never going to get anywhere if you don't pass people. All those
Julian
grandmas.
and my dad are way too similar of drivers. Like, I didn't get to escape it with my husband. I found someone who drives like my dad. This one time, my dad, mom, and I were driving to visit my grandparents at our family cabin. And my dad was driving so wild that day. And him and mom will remember this if they're listening to this episode. And dad will say, oh, Gianna's being so dramatic. And mom will be like, no, I remember, it was bad. And I threw up. Had to get dad to pull over. And I ended up throwing up. Because it was so, oh my goodness, I felt so sick.
That reminds me, when I was younger, we went to a trip. It was in, I think it was around the Redwoods, I think, in California, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but yeah.
I think that's where the Redwoods are. And there was like this curvy road along the mountain. And oh my God, you were supposed to go like, it was something like 20 or 30. Like, it was so curvy. Me and my brother were sitting in the back seat, and my dad was going like 60. And like we had to make him stop. Like, we were getting so sick.
Oh,
but
that's rough.
So you have in the otolith organs here, there's 2. Use the utricle which is responsible for the horizontal movement, and the saccule, which is responsible for the vertical movements. And they both function the same. The saccule is like vertical, and then the uticle is horizontal, kind of sit around the vestibular system.
Okay, makes sense.
And so both of these organs, this is going to creep you out as well.
Oh, good.
Mitch, you didn't know this was in your body.
Oh.
So they function the same. They have little hair cells. They're attached to basically little rocks, and they're limestone.
What?
Yeah, I was actually baffled by this too.
We have limestone in our body?
Yeah, in your ear.
Okay. Just keep going. Get past it.
So these little limestones, when you accelerate in a straight line, the rocks produce a shearing force on the hairs, and that's sent to the brain.
Jeez, these hairs are very powerful.
Yes, that probably grosses you out too.
Yeah, it makes me
think... You don't like hairs.
No. And just in my mind, I'm visualizing like spiders. And like, you know, if you're like looking in a telescope, a microscope at a spider, and you can see their hairs all over their body. That's what I'm like picturing in my ears now.
I hate to say it, babe, but it's probably true what you're picturing.
We might have to add some photos in
of hairs.
Not hairs specifically, but just into the video version of this. If we remember, we'll have Julian add some photos that help to visualize what this ear system looked like.
I'll see if I can. Just have to be careful with the copyright.
Yeah,
is all.
True.
So I gotta make sure I understand that for YouTube. Humans have these two things, and I was trying to find other animals that have these systems, kind of, because one of the ones that came to my mind was birds, right? Because they navigate. And initially I thought I found something really profound, but it's more so a navigation thing, not a balance thing, so I didn't include it. But fish, they have another...
But you told us about it, but didn't include us, and we don't know. We just know there's something to do.
Yeah.
Cool with birds and their navigation.
Yeah, maybe that'll be another episode, like how birds can navigate like north and south based on the season. And like part of that too, I was looking at dogs and animals that have like they have moved with their owners like miles and miles
and then
away.
Make their way run home.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do just a full episode on animals one day and like navigation.
I always find my way when I'm researching. I'm like, I wonder what animals do. I was talking about fish. Mentioned fish. Mm-hmm. They have another detection system for their balance, and it's called the lateral line system. And it's just below their scales, and it detects disturbances in the water, like water currents and then predators, prey, or it also helps them maintain a position in their school of fish.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That makes sense because basically learned about this in Finding Nemo. But just watching all of the fish, how they swim together, that would have been my first exposure to seeing like groups of, what do you call a group of fish?
A school.
A school. Okay.
Yes.
You just said it, didn't you?
I did.
Watching like a school of fish and how they're able to like move together. So
yeah, and they move like so quick, right?
Yeah. So that has to do with their lateral system?
The lateral line system.
Lateral line system. Okay.
Really cool, actually.